right here, right now, against Guangzhou Gaming. We're seeing a bit of a shift in terms of the draft, Mirko. It's not entirely... Oh, hold on. Okay. Yep. It's still the Yuzhong, though, in Modi's hands that you are going to see, and I feel like True Rippers are putting a lot of respect to it as seen in that first rotation.
Hey, True Rippers. I think just going back to basics actually fits the bill a bit better, right? True Rippers against Vitality as well. They were able to almost get that game 2, a very close, nail-biting game 2 with a simple composition. So I like the fact that they're going back to basics. Garcia on the Moskov that almost got them the win against Vitality as well. This time, nothing too crazy. It's still Season Hunter for Recall. No more of that weapon mastery. But it's still Master Assassin for both the gold laners here. CY and Garcia, not the bargain hunters that we've been seeing a lot more from the attack speed gold laners.
Yeah, it seems that there will be a lot more of the micro plays coming in for our gold laners here, and they will have definitely a very huge task to fulfill considering this game. I think would give a lot more room for them to operate around the map, but that was close. Rehansha, okay, at least he doesn't get caught there by Recall right before the objective, but they're on a much more balanced lineup right now, as we've been talking about. Oh, Purify for X-Ying!
Yep, he's gonna have to fall. Mei, though, the Frozen. Eons gets away with a space escape down below. Kimi with a potential gank, but Modi reads it out. Great stuff from TRX in the mid lane as CY. This time is actually trying to zone Garcia out. Garcia walked up to try to get that cannon minion. He does get it, but he's gonna lose out on the trade in the end.
Okay, Guangzhou Gaming are yet to find a trade from what happened just now for X-Ying. They might do, but Asuna will be quick to react though. And it feels like True Rippers have really taken control over this, but see what...
Capitalization for Eons across these winning lanes. Exactly what we wanted from True Rippers from game number 1 as Modi now walks up. Had that Lancer Flare already. Kimi is going to be locked down. The Black Dragon form comes around to just get away, but now it's going to be stolen away by the Valentina. Asuna on it as well. Recon going to be caught in, and Retry comes in, but it's not enough as Eons picks up the turtle, and X-Ying is forced back. Kimi will walk up again. Asuna with just a splash of damage. True Rippers with a 4-0 lead and a neutral objective.
They've completely turned around the situation. We were not expecting this heading into game number 2 after what we witnessed in game number 1, but True Rippers have reset. They've completely changed their draft, and now they're showing us how it's done. Even that Black Dragon form stolen by Asuna was such a huge thing to consider in that previous team fight. Eons with another rotation down bot.
Modi's just not having a good time now. No Black Dragon form under turret. They are trying to juggle the turret in again. Rehansha with Eons. Picking up a dive down below. A gank on Modi. 0, 2, and 0.
Yeah. Hey. Eons wasn't able to do this in game number 1. You know that for a fact. On the Ling, he was just limited, but now there's no one stopping him.
Recall gets away. That's a Purify out for Rehansha as Kimi gets away in time, but Rehansha now is going to be caught by the Lance Runner again. Recall the walk up, but not enough damage by Recall to take Rehansha down. This is starting to become a problem for Guangzhou Gaming.
Yep, it seems like the slower games recently that we've been seeing so far, you do have to expect a bit more time for the club, but the fact that even the Yuzhong's pretty much shut down in his lane is really not helping Guangzhou in this particular scenario. You would really expect them to have the slight upper hand, especially in that first turtle objective, but that was not the case at all. True Rippers, just because of what Eons has been able to accomplish on this Harley, has really set the pace for True Rippers in this early game. Now it feels like you could just expect a lot more annoying rotations with Rehansha too being a bit more free across the map. So Guangzhou, we really have to see them find that one play that could really set things or turn things around, because as we know, it's still a Nolan. You also still have multiple ways to set up with a Jusin Atlas, but at the same time, do you get ahead of Kimi? Because Kimi has been very proactive on the Guinevere just the same, and you could just not position yourself well enough. Doesn't land though.
No, it doesn't. It's a clone out as well. Now the neutral objective. Black Dragon form already used up right now to go all in. Rehansha's there, but Recall finds a fatal legs! Locking all of them down by Mei! Guangzhou Gaming on the back foot the entire game, and they find one opening. And it turns everything around. Garcia is trying to find some compensation in the mid lane, but it's going to be shooed away by X-Ying and Mei. What a set by May.
Don't tell me that's all they need to do. And now you feel like it's Guangzhou taking control. Because if you take a look at the replay, it was just a single Black Dragon form, the Petrify into the Fatal Links as well. It was just a perfectly layered setup shown to us by Guangzhou Gaming, catching almost every single member who didn't have the Purify either, so there was no way for them to get out of that. They were all crucial members, and you can see them celebrating, but that's a spatial migration.
Wait. Spatial migration on May? Modi gets away right now. Oh god, Rehansha walks up, the SOD lands on Modi, but it's under the tier 1. Rehansha can be caught by the Lantern Flare. That's about it. True Rippers back in form somehow against May. They were able to make it work now. The clear from Guangzhou Gaming onto those turrets, or onto those minions to stop the turret from being taken away. But Garcia stays true in the bottom lane, again on this Moskov.
Okay, be careful. Gotta be careful, especially if you're CY. Okay, Kimmy and Ians are gonna get let go of that push though, but it could have been really dangerous. Now we're taking a look at the gold difference. It's not as significant, really, if you take a look at it. I feel like or if it weren't for that one play we got to see from Modi as well, this could have been bigger between the XP laners, but I think that pretty much lessened it even just a bit to a certain extent. And now Kimmy, okay, all alone here.
Uh-oh, May's waiting in that bush as well. Conceal already. It's gonna go in. Oh no, baits out the battle. Requiem, the Fatal Links pulls him back just a bit as Xing is right there. Great peel from Garcia. It's a Purify in, a Lantern from the Crimson Beacon, but it's only onto the Roamer. Now the Dragon comes around. Asuna was able to find that trade. Turret down below. The main target for Guangzhou Gaming, as in the mid lane, Recall is dealing with Rehansha. Turtle already started by Eons. Picked up already. True Rippers finding the better trade across the board.
That took a bit longer than it should have. At least Guangzhou got a turret though, because if they did not, then I feel like True Rippers really got the better trade. It was a turtle that they were able to secure, no contest whatsoever on Eons, and they just took a 1-for-1 trade if ever that were to be the case. But right now, you're starting to feel how Garcia is becoming a lot more active across the map. He's also a level ahead of Sai, by the way, so I think it's been really great for True Rippers, at least for their laning phase so far. Now we take a look. Already has 2 out of 3 of the Trinity build. It's just slightly behind. But this is... Modi doesn't even have an item just yet. This is a Yu Zhong who doesn't even have an item just yet.
Yeah. It's actually all components went for the robe, the Fury Hammer. Now May's looking at Asuna. They gotta be careful. The only Purify they have is on their main frontliner, Rehansha. So that's the problem for True Rippers, right? They have to split up. They have to be very careful of this set from May. The one time May was able to find that set, it almost guaranteed them that full-on comeback. But luckily, True Rippers were able to find some good pickoffs here and there. Kimmy, at this point, I think Spatial Migration on May doesn't even sound too crazy. They might have to deal with him first.
Yeah.
We call it good poke on Kimmy, and it's all about mid-control as Garcia plays that far lane.
Which is great, because I think they're splitting up their positionings a bit more. We see Kimmy really putting himself and trying to scout wherever Guangzhou Gaming could potentially come from, but just the same, seems like there seems to be a bit more reaction coming from their side. Garcia has had no trouble opening up the map.
Nope.
For True Rippers. They haven't been able to pay as much attention to their lanes, and that could be a potential problem for Guangzhou Gaming, especially now that we're looking at the first Lord spawning on the map. And it's the far lane which has been really dealt with so far by True Rippers. Just look at Garcia. They have no idea he's doing this, but you know that he just has a really good grasp of what his job is at this point.
He's feeling it. He knows exactly where he needs to be. And Guangzhou Gaming, doesn't feel like they have a composition to burst this neutral objective down. Oh! May with the Fatal Links into Kimmy as well, but he's able to escape, and now it's all the resources burnt. The Dragon down, the Fatal Links as well. Garcia already dealing with a wave in about top lane. Rehansha knocked up. Oh! Fatal Link from Asuna! Takes them all into the Vile Requiem. Now it's Garcia and Mizunal with the SOD, tearing them apart as Asuna picks up a double, and TRX take full control over the game.
Was that actually worth it? They were only able to zone out Kimmy. Now they lose tier 1 in mid. but at least Guangzhou have secured the objective. But now it's at the expense of almost all their outer and inner turrets, and this is true Rippers, I feel, being much more happier with the exchange. They get so much more map control, they only lose an objective, and now they might also get recall. If it weren't for that one dash, it would have been really close.
Big spear of misery. I agree with you, this is definitely not the trade that Guangzhou Gaming were looking for, but it's the trade that they need to take. They bursted, they used all of their resources so early, and they couldn't even find Kimmy, which led to them having a full commit onto the neutral objective, right? Because if they backed away, it would have been completely chopped. Spatial migration of the Battle Requiem now on Mei. Eons with Deadly Magic. Mei is gone. Her Modi can't even find a Petrify. Eons got away now. The Blazing Duet doing nothing. CY taken low. Eons taken out by Modi. But in the back line, it's the SOD. Garcia with a double. Trying to get that triple. Great Lantern Flare to escape by Xing with the Crimson Beacon. But Modi, here, it's just a delayed pickoff. He's going to try to buy as much time as he can with the passive procs, but it will be inevitable. Modi, good night. Asuna walks up. The Furious Dive again. Wait a second.
Whoa,
wait a second. Uh-oh. Asuna with the melee range again. Now it's 3 against Modi. Dude, he bought so much time.
He did. That was initially a highlight for Garcia that we were just about to talk about, but it's been all Modi from that point onwards. He was just sustaining 2 members at the same time. They had to call in another member from True Rippers just to finally take him down, and that's only being on the Radiant armor as well. But I take a look at this team fight once again, and you kind of worry as to why the Blazing Duet didn't feel like it dealt as much damage as you would expect it to. At this point, you would assume Sai already has the Trinity build in his hands. We can take a look at the items just to confirm whether or not that's actually true, but he already does.
It's because these frontliners from True Rippers have gotten such a massive lead. I mean, take a look at that 2,000 gold lead between the XP laners. That Sai is gonna need the Malefic gun before he can actually deal damage, or before you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. He walks up. He's doing some damage, actually. But Hansha doesn't have the consecration. That's the main reason for it. Already having to purify out, which means, again, now it's all up to Mei, who has the Fatal Links. True Ripper still got to be very careful. One set can literally set them back.
Yeah. That's also the Justice also already picked up by Rehansha, and not to mention Garcia having the Wind of Nature. So I feel like he will be a much more difficult target to deal with for Guangzhou Gaming if ever they do want to find him in the team fights.
There you go, that's the gun.
Okay, finally does or should have a bit more damage. Let's see how Guangzhou eventually deal with this, because Garcia is on the opposite side of the map again. But as mentioned, has the Wind of Nature, so if he does show up in a more dangerous spot, then at least he has a way to survive a bit longer. But it's just Rehansha holding this down. Now there goes the Black Dragon form.
Zoning in the back. Himi looking for the opening again with the face. Great shit, he finds him and recalls, able to go for it. A retreat straight up onto the neutral objective. Nothing Eons could do to walk up. And Guangzhou Gaming stay afloat in this elimination match while being a game up in the match.
Okay, that was a more step-by-step approach that they took, which is great for them, benefits them a lot, because they had a lineup who could really just be just as strategic when it comes to the objective takes. So you saw how they just slowly took control of the Lord Pit. There was a Black Dragon form to start things off that was not used as early, by the way. So it was just perfectly set up, and the SOD not landing too allowed for Guangzhou to just commit to the bit. They were not forced to think twice about the engage. Hold on!
Fatal Links, but Rehansha has the Purify back up. The Deadly Magic comes around. Sai in the back line of the Blazing Duet shuts Asuna down. Mid lane out of the skirmish already. Lord still up and very healthy. Guangzhou Gaming are looking to completely wipe this gold lead from the map.
And that's the Blazing Duet, which dealt a lot more damage than we thought. Spatial migration, but Kimi gets bursted!
Xing in the back now with the Crimson Beacon and the Lantern Flare. Garcia with the Wind of Nature, the Purify out, but Xing will still fall to the Deadly Magic. Just a matter of time. Modi almost trying to get that Furious Dive and the Petrify, but Eons spaces out perfect, and now it's Rehansha who is holding the Lord, able to defend for now. The mid lane coming out as well. Modi gets taken out by the Carge of Eons.
They should have went back a bit more earlier, but no!
With a shutdown, the Spear of Misery Sai shuts Garcia down with the BMI and the Blazing Duet straight to the face.
So was that bait all along? Were they just setting up for that play? Because as of the moment, it seems like Guangzhou Gaming have gotten back in this siege. They will at least take down one or more turrets down bot. When in fact, you would think that True Rippers already could have just successfully defended it from that point onwards, but that was the play. This was Recall and Sai working together to make it look like it was still Guangzhou getting the better trade.
And True Ripper's worst nightmare is the reality right now. The gold lead is completely gone. Everything they've built from the start of this game to that 14th minute, they gotta try to rebuild it again. But the thing is, Guangzhou Gaming, they have the momentum, they have that far lane control now. They've already taken out some of those win conditions from True Rippers. And they're up a game in this elimination match.
Yep, and the only immortality that True Rippers had too, I think will be down for a bit longer, because that was on Kimmy, and you saw him just get bursted down earlier in that fight. So Guangzhou Gaming, I think there's less to think and worry about, apart from maybe just the Winter Crown for Ians and the Wind of Nature from Garcia, if they're just really gonna focus down on these specific targets when it comes to the fight. But I think they're expecting for True Rippers to replicate the same.
Look at Modi. That's a crazy position to hold right there. Ians. Oh, Kimi in the back, finds space migration, but it's only onto Sai with the Purify. Burst out with a Petrify from Modi! It's even lock Ians down! Lord's Recall secured, and now it's Rahancha in the midst of it all. Taken down, bursted out, everybody from True Rippers taken out of the map. It's a massive wipeout for Guangzhou Gaming!
They each had their own plans, creative angles, plans to surprise, but in the end, it's Guangzhou Gaming who will stay in this tournament, sweeping True Rippers 2-0.
A bitter start to the international debut, to the international run